I used to go fishing with my friend Ed, and we'd fish for these big fish called northern pike. And they had a defense mechanism that was nasty. I mean, they would secrete this ooey gooey, slimy, slippery stuff that, man, made them hard to grab. Well, I feel that same way when Obama and the Democrats are touting economic recovery. But I'm still going to try to get my hands around this and help us understand what real recovery would look like. Now, they talk about unemployment and GDP. Unemployment is the biggest bogus number out there. Let me say the unemployment rate could go to 0% and the economy would still be in the crapper. Throw that number out. Now, GDP, well, we can talk about that one some. GDP is just the overall economy that we have. It consists of three segments. There's the government, there's investment, and then there's the consumer side, us. Now, the government, whoa, they're blowing and going. There's no employee there having a problem. And they've got more tax dollars coming in ever and more spending going out. They represent over 20% of this economic pie. Wall Street, which is investment, well, you know what's happening there. Man, they're breaking records every day. The consumer side, which is the biggest chunk of our economy, not so. We're simply not in economic recovery. And I laugh when the Democrats talk about it because their answer to this and the avenue to greater, better jobs are food stamps, unemployment extension, unemployment benefits extension, and of course, raising the minimum wage. Somehow this will magically create better jobs. Paul Krugman, the liberal economist, Nobel Prize for Economics winner, New York Times writer, beloved of the liberal left, he actually said, you can look this up if you don't believe me, that if you raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, take McDonald's for example, they would hire more people if you did that. I don't know. I don't know what school you go to get that kind of logic, but if you're voting Democrat, that's the logic you got to be using. Let me tell you the only number that matters. There's 100 million people in this country, 18 to 65, who are out of work. Now, let's reduce that number a little bit because some people are staying home with the kids. Some people have disabilities or other reasons they can't work. Some people just are lazy and don't want to work. So let's whittle that number down. Let's say it's 50 million. Economic recovery is simple. If we start the year with 50 million people looking for a job, if we end the year with the same number, that's not recovery. If 10 million people get a job and we reduce that number, that's outstanding recovery. Boom, end of story. You'll never hear those numbers talked about. Keep them in mind because that's the only real definition of economic recovery, which we don't have right now.